Hey everybody, welcome back to more Tales of Berseria. I forgot that, now that we have Eleanor in our party, we can give her nice little different outfits that we got through DLC, so we can do that. We have to fight off the exorcists invading the mine, so that is our goal now. I guess we head to the depths? Yeah, that's the only exit. So, we're gonna continue jumping back in. Game's really hitting its stride here. Wonder how close these guys are. Doesn't seem to be too close because they're not killing all these cool demons that are hanging out. I would have started the episode a little bit closer to progress if I had known. Now I don't have anything to say. That's not true. There was something that I felt like looking at, and I guess I can pull that up here on my computer. Which was, I wanted to see the point, and this is a few episodes old, but fuck it, I'll bring it back up. What were the points in which I not so much checked out, but was not as interested in certain Tales of games when I was playing them? I thought it'd be interesting to do here. For example, Tales of Xillia 2, which I believe was the previous LP. And where was the point, and I'm kind of just going by the episodes in my own memory, of me kind of not being too interested in what was going on. And kind of just checking out from a plot perspective. The second I find it,
Praetor Eleanor,
this happens.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm getting back to it. It's
Coward
open.
Demons.
Your collusion could spell disaster to the Abbey if left unchecked. The only possible atonement is your death.
Alright, well, that's not happening, so good night. Alright, I just need to get a good stun, and then I can actually get in on these guys. Because fortunately, they either have to be downed or stunned for me to be able to, make use of Aizen. And they are not letting that happen in any way. There we go. That's right. Yeah, we can just spam this shit. Get a bunch of souls out of it. Go for it.
You've betrayed the people and sullied Artorias' ideals.
No, that's not... Velvet, she's testing me. I know I have to fight. My mission calls for it. But any more of this will kill them.
Time for you to die and be purged! Eleanor!
I can't do it. I can't kill them.
I'm not done yet.
It's okay,
There.
he did it.
Now we're even, Eleanor.
You've got new swords! Sinister. I like it.
I take it you're ready.
Yeah. All that's left is to kill Shigure.
With me as a witness?
I...
Keep on fighting like that, and you'll be killed. And if you get killed, Laphicet will lose his vessel.
I know that.
Velvet, wait.
You're not going to kill them?
I'm just not that hungry right now. I've got new orders for you. Fight the exorcists, but make sure they don't die.
Understood.
I guess that was as far as Eleanor could go.
I think so. Push her any further and she's bound to break.
Ever the virtuous exorcist.
That very virtue is what lets her be Laphicet's vessel. Besides, I can't help but admire her commitment. She's enduring total disgrace to accomplish her mission.
How uncommonly pleasant of you.
Pleasant folks don't use people the way we do.
Yeah, you've got that right.
Hey, Bienfu? I was wondering if I could talk to you about something that's on my mind.
I figured it was just about the time that you and I had the talk, actually.
What?
I've seen it all, heard it all, and even tasted it all in my time as a Moloch. Ask me anything you want.
Thanks. I was hoping you could let me borrow those books you were reading earlier, if that's okay.
You mean how to talk a human female into becoming your vessel, and how to get the cuties?
Hey! Keep it down! Keep it down!
But you and Madame Eleanor have already formed a pact. Why do you still need either of those books?
Well, it's like when we're alone together, things get so awkward. It's hard to talk with her, you know?
That happens a lot with Molocheman vessels who are still new to the whole thing. I've been there. In that case, I've got an even better book for you.
Whoa! You read a lot of books.
I'm just an avid learner is all. Now let's see. Oh, here we go. Hot Spring Topics, bearing your body and your soul. Being upfront and honest is always the best policy.
I don't think we'll be bathing in any hot springs together. Do you have anything else?
All right, then how about after bath party games, dropping your defenses and your towels?
Why do you keep trying to get us naked? I think that would just make things even more awkward.
Picky. Tell you what, you can just look at my collection and pick whatever sounds good.
Love hacking, living long and loving hard, diary of a diary thief, hands speak louder than words.
All classics. I remember reading them.
I think
when
that
Miss
last one's a
Nagulu
little
and
too
I were
rapey.
Struggling to get along. Oh, to be young again.
You ever think maybe things would have been easier if you never read these books?
Reading the mood, knowing what to say and how to say it. That one's a winner. A must-read for sure.
Are you two reading something together?
We are. Laphicet's been worried about that awkward distance between you two, and he came to me for some advice. I've heard his side of the story, so let's you and I grab some tea and talk about what to do about it. Come on, let's go!
Oh, okay.
Knowing what to say and how to say it. I don't think this will help either.
Hey, you tried. How dare you make me fight? How fucking dare you? Maybe I had no interest. I was trying to cut the enemies toward me, because maybe dodge them and get something out of it. Okay, never mind. Looks like our party has no trouble keeping up. Let's look at your thing. Yeah, here they are. Let's see. They don't actually... They're not even that much better. It's okay. They're story daggers. But yeah. I mean, they do better for magic, so... Whatever. We need them for plot. So let's get past the mine and head to the port. Which, this is the right way. This tunnel's port side. You know, port. Port. I need to stop getting so close. We don't have that kind of relationship. So, let's try to look at when I checked out of certain Tales games. And the definition of that is like, I think some of the parts of this story is stupid. Also, let's look at this pop-in. It's so bad. It looks so awful in areas like this, where you just have rocks jutting out. And, Bridge Ravine? Or I guess it would be this, up here. But I'm looking, Tales of Xillia 2 is 35 episodes long. Trying to see where... Alright, so around episode 20, 21, I kinda didn't want to play anymore. Because I was finding some of the dungeons in it to be pretty boring. But, you know, the people had seen it. I had issues with that game's story and stuff. Like, the story dealt a lot with, like, you know, the characters are doing things that adversely harm a lot of people. And it's, you know, it's actually pretty heavy stuff of like, oh man, are we doing the right thing? What's right? That kind of moral thing. But they do almost nothing with it. And it's like, in my personal opinion, I feel like they handled it poorly because they're like, oh, you're really exploring this, but on a very surface level. And it also makes it so a lot of the characters in that game act in a not so great way in response to it. So that made me kind of check out in a lot of ways on the game.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. It made me check out of that game a little bit. And by a little, I mean a lot. I mean, I put it on hiatus because I just wanted to get into a better mindset when going back to it. And when I did, you know, I found myself, you know, enjoying it to a degree. Except for the final dungeon. I think that was like the worst one I ever played in that series. But I still came out of it somewhat positive. Alright. So, Tales of Xillia, I didn't have too much of an issue with by the end of it. I mean, I kind of burned through some of the last parts of it. I was playing on a bit of an easier difficulty because I wasn't too into it. But overall, it didn't do anything that insulted me as much. I feel like I butted heads personally with, you know, characters like Mila, but I found myself getting a better appreciation for a character like that later on when you know, it got to be a little bit less preachy. But to say that there was like a moment in that Let's Play that I was less interested, I can't say there really was one. So I guess there's that. I had issues with that game, that Tales game, but I can't say that I really had anything that made me go, ugh, you know? If that makes any sense to anyone here. Tales of Zestiria is a mediocre Tales game.
Hey, Rokurou.
And, let me see where that is.
Why did he call your
after the
storm
skit, of
howl
course.
a reject?
Well, you see, when blacksmiths make swords, they don't just make one at a time. They make a whole bunch. The best one of them all is the one that gets presented to the sword's commissioner, while the rest are tossed aside.
Huh. I didn't realize the standards were so high.
The head of my clan gets the real storm howl, and his siblings get the remainders.
So one is real, and the others are imitations?
I guess so. Shigure has the real one, and... yeah, guess that makes mine an imitation.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to imply...
Don't apologize. You got me to finally realize something. It might just be why I'm so hung up on beating him.
Oh.
And to Velvet, which Laphicet is real, and which is the imitation?
Oh, what are you saying?
She means my name. It's the same as Velvet's brothers.
Huh? The one who went and got sacrificed by Artorias.
Surely you are mistaken. Our shepherd would never do such a thing.
But what else could make Velvet hate Artorias so much?
I don't...
So you have a truth, and Velvet has a truth. Now which is the real one, and which is the imitation?
I like how Magilu's entire goal is to just constantly be like, I'm gonna be a problem all the time. So there's a couple ways in terms of being checked out with Tales of Zestiria. Now, the first, the biggest one is at episode 39 of 45, called Earthen Historia, in which they make you go back and do every side quest available in the game. A bunch of side quests that the game made you think were side quests, but were in fact not. They were required because you need to get a background on the main antagonist of the game, which should have been pushed as a main plot thing. But then again, that game has a lot of issues of making stuff required, but you have to go out of your way to do, which really doesn't make sense from a video game series that has basically built upon linear JRPGs. So that's why that game's not great for me. 39 was the moment where I'm like, okay, let me spend several hours going back to a bunch of areas, realizing that, this is the only time you go to half the locations in the game. The game was new, so it was hard for me to figure out some of the things, because the game didn't have the best hint system, in my opinion. And getting that, and I was very checked out on that. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Now, to say, like, if you want to know how checked out I was like, fuck this game, while doing it, like, so unbelievably. But thankfully, they do that in, like, the last 2-3 hours of the game. So everything past is you have a really cool episode 42 of that. It's where you have a really cool fight with the dragon, and I'm like, that kind of makes up for every bad thing I'd have to say about what we just dealt with. So that part made up for it. I think the final battle and sequence of that game's really, really, really strong and helps make up for it. But I'd have to say throughout that LP I had many issues, mostly having to do with Lila, one of the main party members in that game, who cannot tell the party about stuff because she knows more about the main plot and stuff going on with it the entire time. And in the very beginning, she says she cannot say it because, gotta do your own path, your own adventure, that trope. Perfectly fine with that. But unfortunately, she spent the entire rest of the game until we learned all of this plot stuff at the very end, making jokes, and even when she's not being addressed, trying to cut off interesting conversations about the plot and trying to mask it with funny puns and jokes.
You and Shigure both use the Rangetsu style.
Which,
but to me, it looked like you both fight completely differently.
It triggered me pretty bad for like 30
episodes.
Encompasses
2 distinct forms. To the outside world, we're known for fighting with a single greatsword. But we also study dual short swords should need arise.
So, Shigure uses the greatsword, and you use the short.
In most schools, wouldn't the secondary technique be used primarily in support of the first?
That's true for us as well. We learn the dual short swords to provide sparring partners for those studying the greatsword.
Then why would you handicap yourself against Lord Shigure? He's no mere swordsman.
As I'm painfully aware, Shigure is a true master. We trained together since we were small children. I was his sparring partner for 10 years. His skill with the greatsword is godlike. So, in order to beat him, I took up the short blades. To our school, it might be secondary, but it's what I know best.
You're badly disadvantaged in reach.
If I eliminate my fear, I have a chance. If I can control the terror of being split in half and I can step inside his guard, he'll have 2 times the trouble.
Eliminating fear, huh? A style for someone who's lost his humanity.
Right?
It's like you two brothers are the very swords you carry.
Huh?
Stormhowl, a godlike sword known to all as the strongest there ever was. Stormquell, burdened by the ceaseless struggle to best the other. One, an exorcist who walks in the light. One, a demon moving through the shadows. The only thing these 2 polar opposites want
is to cut down the other.
Precisely!
Both are renowned blades, but I don't see what exorcists and demons have to do with it.
It's because it's, different sides, different things like that. But, from there, the only other LP of a Tales game I've done is Tales of Grace's, F, and I never ended up doing the thing the F is made for, which is like that future story arc that they let you do that has more gameplay and more story in it. I kind of just had checked out, not in a bad way this time, but in a way of like, I don't really need it, And after it took so long, I just didn't really have an interest of going back. I enjoyed the story I got. With that, I have a couple issues just with tropes of robotic-type characters, even for plot purposes. But and again, that's just a nitpick. I have next to no problems with Graces, and it was a clean time. But if I had to go with that, the only games that really just caused me just this annoyance, and it kind of made me just roll my eyes in terms of just having to trudge through parts I didn't like, Berseria and Xillia 2 are those. Both of them have very big highs. Like Xillia 2, for some reason, is the one time I went to a Tales game and went, this is amazing fight choreography, and some really, really good music, and some really cool moments and designs. And Berseria has fantastic music, because they get someone else besides Sakuraba doing stuff. And there's some amazingly cool set pieces, moments, and character interactions. But they both fail in a lot of ways. A lot in story for a lot of stuff, and other stuff like that. So those are the games that give me the most problems. I think I have more of a chip on my shoulder with these games because of that. Which has been made worse because they're the two most recent games I had played. But in the end, Tales games, I feel like fall into this niche of just being way overly tropey. Overly tropey, and oh, what might as well give you a Halo because you're a sweetie pie. They seem more tropey, you know, and cliche than other JRPGs, I feel like, or they lean harder on it because it's, you know, it's the anime style, I guess. But yeah, really it comes... I thought about bringing it up because there's nothing I don't like about this game so far. I think its combat is great, continues to open up, and opens up quickly. The characters are good, varied, and interesting. The villains are active, imposing, and menacing. And I'm liking everything about that. It hasn't done me wrong in any way.
There they are.
Which must mean they took out every one of the exorcists who went after them.
Hey, I told them not to bother. Now how did that sword of yours turn out? Fine, I'll find out for myself.
Rokurou, we can handle the exorcists. Go and find your victory.
Thanks.
All right, let's get down to business.
Alright, nice. We can actually just do this normally. Let me...
Don't hold back. Shut up. Don't play games with me.
let me switch someone out here. There we go. I want to at least get him in the party.
Ooh, those are some fine-looking swords you got there. Take a good look, because they're going to cut you down. Yeah, that's right. Get into it. Keep it up. I love it.
Alright, that's one. Moving on to the next one. Hello. Hello, how are you doing? Can I sell you some of my products? They're called Death. I don't have anything funny to say. Thank God it's not a solo fight. I can just lay waste. Yeah, go for it. Okay, next up, I'm gonna heal myself. Not looking too good. And then I'm gonna have you heal yourself as well, Eleanor. Oh shit! I didn't even notice Rokurou's fucking dead. Get him back in. Also, you left these souls here. Did you want them? I don't know. Did you want these? Alright. Ready to do this song and dance again. And I can do one more time after this. Ah, shit.
But I'm not done yet.
Oh my god. Even that wasn't enough.
You put up a good fight, I'll give you that. But you're a frickin' demon. Shouldn't you bring more to the table than pretty damn good Rangetsu style? You don't have what it takes to win against the rightful heir.
Don't count me out. Just yet. I've got something to show you!
Ooh.
Take this!
Now that was clever. Giving up one of your own hands to go for my neck. If I was just a second slower, I'd be dead now. I like it. This is what I've been looking for. All right, let's call it good here. Listen up! If y'all want any hope of beating me, come find me once you're more skilled and better armed.
I'll cut you down. No matter how many times I lose. No matter how many years it takes.
There we go. That's the face I'm looking for. So vicious. It's perfect.
What is wrong with him?
Shouldn't you be worrying more about your own skin? The entire Abbey knows by now that you're a traitor.